worker. We do tefillin. You want to come over to my place before work, or we do tefillin? Uber to my place. Uber to my place and I'll drive us to worker.
Andy.
Uber to my place and I'll drive us to worker.
sing with me that wonderful peroration to an ancient adoration. I am he, the boundless spirit, having sight in the feet, strong and the immortal fire. I am he, the truth. I am he who hates that evil should be wrought in the world. I am he that lighteneth and thundereth. I am he from whom is the shower of the life of earth. I am he whose mouth ever flameth. I am he, the begetter and manifester unto the light. I am he, the grace of the world. The heart girt for the serpent is my name. Now take a deep breath. Stretch and twist your body. Terminate the state of bliss, of ecstasy.
David on the Nationwide, this is Michael. How can I be your pet today?
We got a puppy last year, and I realized we have not put him on the insurance, so we want to do that.
Thank you so much. You were wonderful, wonderful. Is there anybody I can tell how wonderful you are? Thank you for being one in a million of Native Right Protected Plants.
At City Colleges of Chicago, I'm part of the community that wants me to succeed in my classes, career, and life. It's a great education that I can afford, and it's open to everyone. Love it. Live it. With classes at City Colleges of Chicago.
Invocation of truth. Procul, o procul esti profani, on lasti, on pedo. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitation. the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of life and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemesis as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as light unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hopes upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who accompany the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onward to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which stands in the center of the earth. He is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the tar floats over the pond. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of you. I raise up flashing flame for the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the day glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Kepler, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tanu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart.
Comunista.
My tongue is the sanctuary
Comunista.
and a
Comunista.
My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes
Mayor
itself
proclamation.
as
Any
an
Chicago
opportunity
cocaine Democrat judge that releases recidivist violent offenders and income minors with no cash bail will be arrested, indicted, and charged with murder, first degree, and RICO, subject to asset forfeiture, dual combined capital punishment like firing squad per DOJ federal guidelines. Immediate assistance for illegal aliens and call ICE. Struggle to get protected our borders.
Mercury, Odin.
By mayor decree, I will request the federal attorney Major Butchers to suspend the safeguards and pursue against the violent Democrat legislature Pritzker, Brown, Johnson, and vote to force the U.S. Supreme Court to determine the constitutionality of the safeguard.
Star of the east, that did conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, ascending, changing ever yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath formed thee in its bosom, and earth hath never nourished the changeless guardian of light. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto thee, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, night and the day, the seasons create the darkness and the light. Thou art Asa or Nepha, whom no man hath seen at any time. Thou art Yahweh. Thou art Ear, Apophras, Ra. Thou hast distinguished between the just and the unjust. Thou didst make the female and the male. Thou didst produce the seeds and the fruit. Thou didst form men to love one another and to hate one another. I am
Switzerland once had a strict rule. Anyone passing by this military...
Commit thy mysteries, the ceremonies of Hem. Thou didst produce the moist and the dry, and that which nourisheth all created life. Hear thou me, for I am the angel of Patan, Apophras, Ra. This is thy true name, handed down to the prophets of Hem. Hear me. Arain, Theof, I bet, Atheri, Berset, Belathan, Arbeu, Ebeu, Phi Theta So A, Ebe, Theaof. Hear me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. I invoke thee, the terrible and invisible God, who dwellest in the void place of the Spirit. Aro, go, go, Abrao, so thou, Ludori, Fal, the boneless one. Hear me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of a rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. Hear me, Ru Abra'i Mario Dam, Babylon Balbin Abaft, Asalonai, Arfen Eo, E, Photeth, Abrasax, R-A-O-O-U, Ishure, mighty and boneless one. Hear me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. I invoke thee, Ma-ba-ra-e-o, E-O-El, Kotham, Athori, Balo, Abraph. Hear me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of a rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. Hear me. Aftam, Abaftam, thus on, Isaac, Sabal, universe. This is he whom the winds fear. This is he who, having made voice by his commandment, is Lord of all things, King, ruler, and helper. Hear me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God,
Right. How did
may
Amisha
be
Patel
obedient
pass
unto
away?
me.
How can the CTU educate students with intelligence and limit the
Hear me.
propaganda to educating students?
E-A-O-U, hey-oo-ray, E-O-U, hey-oo-ray, E-R, E-R-A-O, E-O-O-U, Abra-sax, Sab-we-am, O-O, Oof, Oof, Otto-9, A-day, A-do, Angelos Tontheon, and Lai Gar-E-R. I-Pay, Diathana Thoron. I am he, the born of the spirit, having sight in the feet, strong and the immortal fire. I am he, the truth. I am he who hate, that evil should be wrought in the world. I am he that lighteneth and thundereth. I am he from whom is the shower of the life of earth. I am he whose mouth ever flameth. I am he the begetter and manifester unto the light. I am he, the grace of the worlds. The heart girt with a serpent is my name. Come thou forth and follow me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. E-R-O, Sabah-O. Such are the words. The invocation of Isis. I beheld a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon at her feet, and on her head was a diadem of the 12 stars. Hear me, O Lady Isis, hear and save. O thou Queen of love and mercy, thou crowned with a throne, thou horned as with the moon, thou whose countenance is mild and glowing, even as grass refreshed by rain. Hear me, Our Lady Isis, hear and save. O thou who art in matter manifest, thou bride and queen, as thou art mother and daughter of the slain one. O thou who art the Lady of the earth, hear me, O Lady Isis, hear and save. O thou Lady of the amber skin, Lady of love and victory, bright gate of glory through the darkling skies, O crowned with light and life and love, hear me, Our Lady, hear and save. By thy sacred flower, the lotus of eternal life and beauty, by thy love and mercy, by thy wrath and vengeance, by my desire toward thee, By all the magical names of old, hear me, O lady, hear and save. Open thy bosom to thy child, stretch forth thine arms, and strain me to thy breast. Let my lips touch thy lips ineffable. Hear me, O Lady Isis, hear and save. Lift up thy voice to aid me in this critical hour. Lift up thy voice most musical. Cry aloud, O Queen and Mother, to save me from that I fear most. I invoke thee to initiate my soul. The whirling of my dance, may it be a spell and a link with thy great light, so that in the darkest hour the light may arise in me and bring me to thine own glory and incorruptibility. Isis am I, and from my life are fed all showers and suns, all moons that wax and wane,
Greg, analyze this post and point out inaccuracies and assumptions on behalf of the AG.
the mystery of pleasure and of pain. I am the mother, I the speaking sea. I am the earth and its fertility, life, death, love, hatred, light, darkness, return to me, to me. Isis am I, and to my beauty drawn, all glories of the universe bow down, the blossom and the mountain and the dawn, fruits blush and woman, our creation's crown. I am the priest, the sacrifice, the shrine. I am the love and life of the divine. Life, death, love, hatred, light, darkness are surely mine, are mine. Isis am I, the love and light of earth, the wealth of kisses, the delight of tears, the barren pleasure never come to birth, the endless, infinite desire of years. I am the shrine at which thy long desire devoured thee with intolerable fire. I was song, music, passion, death upon thy lyre, thy lyre. I am the grail and I the glory now. I am the flame and fuel of thy breast. I am the star of God upon thy brow. I am thy queen, enraptured and possessed. Hide thee, sweet river. Welcome to the sea, ocean of love that shall encompass thee. Life, death, love, hatred, light, darkness, return to me, to me. Hear, Lady Isis, and receive my prayer. Thee I worship and invoke. Hail to thee, sole mother of my life.
One more pack. Hey, let's go. Origin Form Palkia V-Star. Super playable card. Challenge completed. We got to rip some packs and open some mystery bags and got some awesome hits.
Today I'm going to show you how to do the perfect lip combo. First, you need your liner. What do you usually do while you're doing your makeup? Once I got comfortable with my routine, I could watch mini dramas while doing my makeup. What's loud is nothing compared to killing my baby. Just like now, I can watch mini dramas on TikTok Lite while doing my makeup. Recently, I've been watching this mini drama. It's a really sub
Did you
drama.
just hear that? She's like doing her makeup and then talking about Killer Baby. What the
If you have
fuck was
some free
that?
time, you should download TikTok Lite.
Did you hear that shit for TikTok Lite? That was like a total neural
It is
implant.
important
What the
that
fuck
all
was
the
that?
exercises on all these tapes be performed regularly. Sooner or later, some salutary results may follow. You might then wish to offer up a prayer of thanksgiving at the opening of each practice session. Use your own imagination and ingenuity to compose the kind of prayer that suits you and your own beliefs, rather than follow slavishly some already existent prayer, no matter how excellent it may be. The practice of the presence of God. Let us dedicate this work to an awareness of the ever-living God by using an ancient prayer. Who should not praise thee, O Lord of the universe, unto whom there is none like, whose dwelling is in heaven, and in every virtuous and God-fearing heart. O God, thou vast one, thou art in all things. O nature, thou self from nothing, for what else can I call thee? In myself I am nothing. In thee I am self, and exist in thy selfhood from eternity. Live thou in me, and bring me unto that self which is in thee. Lie down and make yourself comfortable. Relax completely. Breathe easily and rhythmically. Meditate on the fact that your body is composed of millions of atoms. Each atom is composed of electrons and protons orbiting about a center. Vast open spaces exist between these particles. These atoms form all our bodily tissues, forming the cells, the bones, the skin, all muscles, and all the elements of the bloodstream. Our body really is made up rather like a woman's hairnet. Millions of holes or spaces connected by thin gossamer threads. Think of the skin on your face, covering your whole head.
Have a good niche.
See this skin perforated by millions of tiny holes, which we call pores. Imagine and feel that these pores are opening up, stretching wide. Your face has thus become transformed into a network or a honeycomb. Millions and millions of yawning open holes loosely knit together by fine, thin filaments. Now extend the mental picture to include the neck and shoulders. lacework of holes. Do the same with the chest. The arms and hands are mere extensions of the chest segment. These areas of your body are now largely open holes. Space is held together by loosely woven thin threads. Feel the holes stretching and opening as you slowly move your imagination into the abdominal area, into the whole length of the back, down into the pelvis, the thigh area, and your legs and feet. See and feel the entire skin covering of your body as a hairnet or as a honeycomb through which the air around you can flow into you and through you. Now we turn your attention to the head. Realize that the contents of your skull and brain are made up of atoms and even smaller particles, all of them separated by enormous spaces. Feel that the bones, the blood vessels within the brain, and the cells of the brain itself are very porous, filled with holes similar to a sponge. Let your imagination extend down into your neck, your shoulders, your arms, and your chest. The whole upper part of your body. The inside, not the external skin this time. Feel that all this vital tissue within is no longer solid and impervious to the air.
Each month.
It is porous and sponge-like because the tissue is nothing but millions of holes, vast spaces lightly connected by thin filaments.
Each month.
As you continue working in this manner, you will experience a distinct physical sensation, rather difficult to describe, but it is distinct, different from anything you've ever experienced before. Now go down to the abdomen and the pelvis. Consider them together. Feel the solid tissue becoming transformed into a honeycomb. Millions of holes, the spaces between the atomic particles composing them, tied together with a network of little threads and filaments. The whole area is seen and feels like a sponge. Extend this method to the thighs, to the legs, and the feet. Continue your imaginative efforts, seeing the bones, the muscles, blood vessels, all composed of minute particles between which are vast spaces. All the apparently solid tissue is transformed into a honeycomb, into millions of holes flimsily connected by fine filaments and threads. Pause for a moment. Get a view of the organism as a whole. The skin outside, the organs and other tissues inside. The toes. You are full of holes. All is simply a mass of holes, connected lightly by threads. You are no longer solid matter. You never were. As a result, you can feel the surrounding air flow through you. Sense the air permeating you, pouring in from every direction. There are no impediments to the free movement of this air. This air, which is life itself. So you are bathed in an ocean of spirit. It is spirit which you are breathing in and spirit which you are breathing out. Taking in and giving forth the one universal spirit in which you live and move and have your being. imagination has transformed all your tissues into sponge-like substance. From head to toe, all of you, you are one vast sponge, open to the divine force surrounding you. Your sponge-like body offers absolutely no resistance to the living air coming in and passing through your body from any direction. You are no longer breathing only with your nose or chest. But actually, you are breathing through every pore of your being. As you inhale, feel the air pour into your spongy body from head to toe. As you breathe out, the air passes all the way through your body, coming out through your head, through your back, your abdomen, your legs. Continue your rhythmic breathing. Feel the air flowing in and through your body. Your body is nothing but a mass of holes, spaces tied together by thread, no longer dense and solid. Air pours through you, ascending through feet and legs, through the entire body, and making exits through your head and everywhere else. Now the air is coming in through the front of your body, and as you exhale, it goes out through your sides and back. Inhale, and the air flows in. Exhale, and the air flows out. Keep up this rhythm, this new and most pleasurable experience of the divine life entering you. This is taking over. With each inhalation, you breathe in life and spirit.
About 3x.
This air that is coursing through your body will carry air of life. This air is the divine spirit which is created, and so can transform, heal, harmonize, and restore our everyday lives. This is the one life animating all created things. God is coming into your life, into your very body, filling it with divine spirit. As you breathe in, as the air rushes through your body and mind, you are in reality opening yourself to the ever-presence and power of God. The consciousness of God is pervading every part of your body, every nook and cranny of your mind, conscious as well as unconscious. There is no part of you that can be free from what God is. You have opened yourself to God. You have dedicated yourself to God and to the great work. Surrender whatever you are, whatever you have, to the omnipresence of the one life, the one universal spirit. With each breath, the ever-living God surges into your body and fills every cell with life, love, and freedom. God is in us, and we are in God. Now take a deep breath and return to your normal state of consciousness.
Never really wear it. Someone else will love the month it's in. Just snap a pic, list your item. Easy. Once it sells, the buyer covers shipping. And with zero selling fees, you keep every dollar. Sell.
The Tree of Life. The Kabbalah is an archaic system of Jewish mysticism. For us moderns, the Jewishness may readily be omitted, and most of its mysticism may also be left out, leaving only a simple, philosophical, or mathematical structure called the Tree of Life. Said Eliphas Levi almost a century ago, on penetrating into the sanctuary of the Kabbalah, one is seized with admiration at the sight of a doctrine so simple and at the same time so absolute. The necessary union of ideas and signs, the consecration of the most fundamental realities by primitive characters, the trinity of words, letters, and numbers. A philosophy simple as the alphabet, profound and infinite as the Logos. Theorems more luminous and complete than those of Pythagoras. A theology which may be epitomized by counting on the fingers. An infinity which can be held in the hollow of an infant's hand. 10 numerals and 22 letters, a triangle, a square, and a circle. Such are the elements of the Kabbalah. Such are the primary principles of the written word, shadow of that spoken Logos which created the world. Each student has the task to ascertain for himself, where the Kabbalah is concerned, what must be considered true and reliable, and to set up on his own score a reliable standard of reference. This standard can only be spiritual experience. For this reason, the Tree of Life has been adopted as the framework of practical magic, since it is, in the first place, open to synthetic and constructive classification, and because it provides what may suitably be called a magical alphabet. It must be noted that the word alphabet is used, and it is so used in preference to the word language and the developments therefrom. The Kabbalah does not attempt to provide a complete magical language or an entire philosophy. Only by spiritual experience may the latter be acquired. But from the alphabet of ideas, numbers, and symbols, and the intimations which it presents, the student may find himself enabled, with the aid of magical research, and with the aid of the inner spiritual experience, to construct a satisfactory edifice of a high philosophy which will take him through life. Previously, the Tree of Life was considered as a numerical symbol of the orderly progression of the universe from ideality, as a classifying medium to which to refer systematically the spiritual hierarchies, and finally, as a frame of reference for ideas, symbols, and signs which enter into practical magic. The Sephiroth may be thought of as cosmic forces, as emanations whose chief sphere of operation is in the macrocosm. The Sephiroth, I might add, are the basic concepts to be found on the Tree of Life. The crown, the first Sephira, represents the self-existent spirit, eternal, supreme, birthless and deathless, and sublimely persistent through the fleeting ages. It is by definition a metaphysical and spiritually sensitive point of consciousness. Indivisible,
Thank you for the stop on a vehicle at the gas station.
which flows all the energy. As direct vehicles are the next two Sephiroth, the powers of Chachma and Binah, wisdom and understanding, the two manifested poles of the creative instrument which it employs. Yet not only are they instruments, but they are in reality the highest aspects of the activity of the spiritual being whose hallowed light is infinite and eternal. In man, these two sephiroth are represented by principles which we call the will and intuition. Existing on the creative plane, representing the potencies emanating from the divine self in the archetypal world, the will and soul constitute with the self the imperishable, unchanging man. Yet so absurd are the ways of men, and so far have we drifted from essentials, that few of us consciously realize our essential Godhood. Yet we, like Christ, like Buddha, like Krishna, are sons of God, gods in all verity. As the will is the active, energetic, creative power in man, and inasmuch as in practical magic, the wand is the ceremonial instrument of creation, so is the wand the true symbol of the spiritual will, one, upright, towering to the heavens, a mighty and irresistible power of creation. The intuition, being in opposition to will on the tree, is feminine and passive, representing the true spiritual vision of the soul, or imagination. Like the chalice on the altar, it is ever open to receive the dictates and commands issuing from above. To it also is referred the spiritualized imagination, which, with the will, are the powers par excellence utilized in magic. The more one opens oneself to the divine will and the divine imagination of the inner self, the greater does one become in the manifestation of one's Godhood, an oracle of the Most High, a spotless vehicle of the purest spiritual fire.
If your belly is the reason why you are hiding your pictures, do these 4 Tai Chi exercises daily for 2 minutes each.
I'm 61, and today I'm done with the gym, starting Tai Chi at home. This is me after 28 days. My back pain is gone. I forgot what that felt like.
On Monday, April 7th, we're starting
Vehicle of the purest spiritual fire. Below the abyss, the next 5 sephiroth are named the human soul, a composite principle of reason, will, imagination, memory, and emotion, centered in the sephira of harmony. It is this mind which is the evolutionary vehicle of the real self, a mechanism, so to speak, created to long realize as a means of applying contact with the outside world, so that by means of the experience of your way, the self may come to conscious realization of its own divine cause and high nature. It is in this mind that self-consciousness is centered. Although the psychological anomaly is true, that this perceptual mechanism, evolved solely as an instrument, comes to usurp the power of that which gave it birth, setting itself on a pedestal as the ego, as that which has real power, insight, will, and the ability to solve the problems of life. In magic, it is this empirical ego, this lower self, which must be offered up in sacrifice to the higher self. As the concept of sacrifice implies that which is renounced should be the best and the greatest sacrifice, So a well-developed mind, well-trained in all the processes of logic and thought, well-stored with things of its own realm, is the greatest sacrifice which the student can lay upon the altar as an offering to the Most High. He that
And then I'm
loses
like,
his life
this
shall
big
find
motherfucker better not blow up by nuclear shit. Or I'm gonna go
Lest
lock
there
on
be
this bitch.
some misconstruction based upon the words destruction and abnegation and sacrifice of the ego, let it be understood clearly that the principle itself is not destroyed. That, of course, is an impossibility in nature. But the false values of the ego, its complacency, the illusion that it possesses, that it alone is real and permanent, all else being its creations, these are offered for destruction. When the smugness and the false egoism in the mind is rooted out, it is an instrument of the soul than which few could be better. The ninth sephira is the foundation of the lower man. It is the Freudian id, and it is that lunar, vegetative, and instinctual principle which is concerned solely with living. This animal soul is at one and the same time a principle of energy and electromagnetic substance, the totality of the vital life currents, as well as the invisible magnetic mold on which the gross atoms arrange themselves as the physical body. As a substantive principle, it is the astral body, the classic double built of astral substance, to serve as the basis or design of the physical body. It pertains to the instincts and impulses, acting as an automatic storehouse of sensations and impressions, just as the old term, the collective unconscious, may well be applied to the more archaic concept of the astral life. All the fundamental instincts of a man, the primal root impulses which he experiences, are of the sephira of Yesod, the foundation from which all life energy flows. All of these principles obtain in and function as a living organism in the principle of the physical body, attributed to the 10th and last sephira of the tree of life called the kingdom. It is the seat of every force and function of all the subtle planes of nature and every spiritual power of man. In all truth, and in this fundamental sense, the human body is in reality the temple of the Holy Ghost.
What would you tell a man who's been late to everything for 40 years, no matter how hard he tries to be on time? I'd tell him,
William James, in his Gifford Lectures of the early part of this century, wrote that one conclusion that was forced upon him as a result of certain experiments that he had conducted had forced upon him that it is our normal waking consciousness, rational consciousness as we call it, is but one special type of consciousness, while all about it, parted from it by all screens, there lie potential forms of consciousness entirely different. We may go through life without even suspecting their existence. But apply the requisite stimulus, and at a touch, they are there in all their completeness. Definite types of mentality, which probably somewhere have their field of application and adaptation. Magic is the name for some archaic psychological methods which, to use James' term, apply the requisite stimulus to immediate outcomes which are ever present, but remain as a rule virtually unsuspected. Once this magical stimulus is applied, and these levels are tapped, there occurs what has been labeled illumination, the flooding of the mind with light. Before I was blind, but now I see. This so-called transcendental experience, to be reached by ritual and other technical procedures, is the heart of this archaic, Kabbalistic, and magical system, and can hardly be guessed at, save by some shrewd and penetrating modern psychologists such as Carl Jung and A. Maslow. It is with the mind
And Meryl Decreo
which I
requests
wish in
you that
particular to occupy myself at some little length. Although it comprises the 5 Sephiroth, numbers 4 to 8 inclusive, its central seat is in Kitover,
the city ticket auctioned her off.
and equilibrium. One problem which concerns the magician is the fact that inherent in the mind is a principle of self-contradiction which prevents its use independent of any superior systems in the quest for truth and light. Using the reason alone, man can never come to any true realization of what he is in himself. That is, he can never understand by the mind alone that he is an eternal spiritual entity, a brilliant star, shining by the light of its own essence, within the bespangled body of New Wheat, the queen of infinite space.
Farewell, Lady Hawk.
The law down quite clearly in the mysteries, that not by discursive reasoning or through
I should have taken the motor off of her, but I didn't want 1 million sliders and gasoline in the morning. I guess I could have put the Oh, farewell, Lady
by
Hawk.
means of the right of magic that we have already defined, that the consummation of the long ages is effected. What we call so casually the imagination of the ordinary man is, according to the exponents of magic, the major faculty of the soul to assimilate the images and reflections of these other levels of awareness of which James speaks. The imagination is the vision of the soul, whereby it perceives directly and immediately ideas and thoughts of every kind. The spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola are really one specific form of magical procedure. There,
I should have taken the motor
counsels his
off of her, but I
disciples
didn't
to
want 1 million
relive in the
sliders.
sphere of the imagination
I guess I could have put that
all
on
the
top
events in
of
the
the
outward
Farewell, Lady
historical
Hawk. Now
life of Jesus.
the city ticket and auctioned her off.
By this method, they are to train their imaginations to see, touch, smell, and taste those invisible things and rehearse those incidents long since accomplished and vanished, which were perceived through the senses of their incarnated Lord. Saint Ignatius desires the imagination to be exalted to its uttermost. If you are meditating on an article of faith, he would have you construct the locality clearly and with exactitude before the vision of the mind's eye, to observe it carefully and closely, even to touch it, as it were. If it be held, for example, he gives you burning rocks to handle. He makes you float in a frightful darkness as thick as pitch. He places liquid sulfur upon your tongue. Your nostrils are filled with a stench as of hell itself. And he shows you torment, causing you to hear excruciating groans. He would have you also construct the vision of Calvary, with a glorified Christ crowned with thorns on the cross, accomplishing the redemption of mankind, surveying the heavens with pained eyes, while calling upon his Father in heaven. He would have you envisage the startling wonder of the resurrection, and the miracles performed long ago in Palestine. All of this, St. Ignatius bids your will to create in imagination by constant exercise, and thus, in this way, apply James's stimulus to reveal these other levels of consciousness which are present at every moment of our lives.
SUVs.
Zesty, creamy, perfect for pizza. It's Domino's new slice sauce. Grab one tonight and get dipping already.
Charge the battery a few times a day,
Perseverance and constant application will certainly
it's very annoying.
a will which is indomitable,
It's very
a
annoying.
mind capable
The
of
car
prolonged
alarm installed in
concentration,
it drains the
and
battery a few
above
times to
all,
auto start.
an imagination which is the essence of creativeness. One of the exercises that is analogous to those recommended by St. Ignatius is on a more prosaic level.
The car alarm
The
installed
student
drains
is
the
to
battery a
picture
few
to
times
himself,
every year.
for example, that is sitting by a mighty waterfall, a Niagara, and before his inner eye, let him create an image of the river high up in its source, murmuring and rambling peacefully along. Then let him conceive of its gradual approach to the precipice, wild torrents of maddened waters, swirling hither and thither in churning cascades of whitened foam, tumbling against the rocky boulders, and being irresistibly hurled forward over the edge. Let him further imagine these thousands of tons of water surging headlong over the precipice with a constant reverberating echo of thunder. Conceive then the spray being shot out in all directions, the beauty of the snowy surf refracting the sunlight into iridescent rainbows full of brilliant color and hue. And let him hear, in a pioneering marvel,